Welcome to our channel. Today, we dive into one of the most notorious scandals in rugby history, Bloodgate, a tale of deception, drama, and the darker side of professional sport. Stay tuned as we unravel the events that shocked the rugby world, a sport known for its physicality, strategy, and unwavering commitment to fair play. With roots tracing back to the 19th century, it has grown into a global phenomenon. Rugby embodies the spirit of teamwork and sportsmanship, but even this noble sport is not immune to controversy.
Who'd be in the other? Here comes Harlequins against Leinster, George Hamilton and Tony Ward.
Leo Cullen leads Leinster into a lion's den, seeking a fourth Heineken Cup semi-final. They're also seeking something that only one other visiting team has managed this season, an away victory at the Stoop. That team was Irish, London Irish, and they did it twice.
It was April 12, 2009, the Heineken Cup quarter-final between Harlequins and Leinster. The stakes were high, the atmosphere electric. Both teams were determined to secure a place in the semi-finals, setting the stage for an unforgettable match.
Harlequins, with just one defeat in their last 10, have reasons to be cheerful. Their all-blackout half, Nick Evans, whose performances, not to mention his match-winning drop goal against Stade Francais, were crucial during the pool stage. He's recovered from his...
In the final moments of the game, with Harlequins trailing by a single point, Tom Williams, a Harlequins winger, was seen with blood streaming from his mouth. He was quickly substituted, but something was amiss. The blood was fake, and the substitution was a calculated move to gain an advantage. Earlier in the match, Harlequins fly half and key player Nick Evans had to leave the field due to an injury, with substitute fly half Chris Malone coming on as his replacement. Unfortunately, Malone tore his hamstring just 20 minutes later, leaving the team with Mike Brown as their best available kicker. The only way for Evans to return to the field was through a blood substitution. Suspicion quickly turned to investigation. The truth came out. Williams had used a fake blood capsule orchestrated by the team's coaching and medical staff. The rugby community was in shock and the media frenzy began. This was the beginning of the Bloodgate scandal. Here is a clip of Tom Williams talking about the incident.
And such were the intricacies of the blood substitutions at the time that if a fly half or someone in a specialist position gets injured or has a blood injury, it means you can bring someone else back on the field so long as they came off for a tactical reason. So there Nick Evans was on the touchline, our first choice fly half.
He then addresses the instructions he was given when he entered the field of play.
And I go on the field. As I'm running on the field, Dean Richards says to me, "Tell Steph Brennan, the physio, who was on the pitch treating someone at the time, tell Steph Brennan you're coming off for blood." I look at Dean, okay, I run on the field. I run past Steph, Dino says I'm coming off for blood. Now fast forward a few minutes, Steph then comes on, passes me a blood capsule, and I've never seen a blood capsule before in my life. And I go, "What do I do with this?" And he goes, "Well, when you have some contact, pop it in your mouth, go down, we'll get you off." All right then.
Here is a clip of Harlequins Director of Rugby, Dean Richards, addressing the matter in his post-match press conference.
Hand on heart, was Tom Williams bleeding when he came off?
He came off with a cut in his mouth. The issue is whether he was injured, and you have a right if somebody has a cut to bring them off, which is what we decided to do.
So your conscience is clear on that one?
Yeah, very much so.
The fallout was severe. Head coach Dean Richards received a 3-year ban, while Tom Williams was initially banned for 12 months, later reduced to 4. Physiotherapist Steph Brennan was also handed a 2-year suspension. Harlequins were fined £260,000 and their reputation took a severe hit. Here is Dean Richards talking about his ban after the hearing.
Very disappointed and a little bit surprised. 3 years is a long time, but I'll reflect on it overnight, I think.
3 years you've been banned from taking a coaching role. Well, that seems very severe given the player received just a year initially.
Well, the players have been reduced down to 4 months.
Right.
So,
in mitigation. Can I ask whether is that because was it your instruction that the blood captain was taking over?
Listen, I took full responsibility for it. I mean, it's a farcical situation. It really was. It didn't pan out particularly well, even on the day. I think everybody looked at it and thought, "Good God, that that's unreal," which is what I thought on the touchline as well. But I had to hold my hands up
And here is Tom Williams condemning his actions after the hearing.
I deeply regret the role that I have played in this unacceptable incident that has done so much damage to the image of rugby union. I let down my teammates and the club fans, and I'll have to live with those actions for the rest of my career.
This is Phil Greening, a former English rugby player, discussing the bans.
To have Tom to be given that 12-month ban was absolute joke for me. What player goes onto a pitch carrying a blood capture in his sock, thinking I'm going to go off now and use this and have a rest? It was ultimately down to the officials at Quins. Players are put under tremendous pressure, to create wins and to play well. And I have no doubt in my mind that Tom was put under that pressure to do what he did. And so became what happened after the game as well.
Bloodgate had a lasting impact on rugby. It led to stricter regulations and a renewed emphasis on integrity and fair play. Harlequins had to work hard to rebuild their image, and the scandal serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of dishonesty in sports.
Now, you were actually there calling the game that day, weren't you?
Yes, I was. And I remember at the time, Tom Williams had hardly been on the pitch. You're thinking, how did he get that impact? I couldn't remember seeing it. There was an awful lot of blood. And I also checked myself at the time, thinking, if you're going to say what you might say here, that is quite an accusation. Stuart Barnes, my co-commentator on the day, rather pertinently said something along the lines of, Tom Williams? Who punched him? Tom Williams?
Who punched Tom Williams in the mouth? Tom Williams?
Bloodgate remains one of the darkest chapters in rugby history, a cautionary tale of what happens when winning is placed above ethics. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of sports.